Welcome back to The Explainer. We are jumping right into a truly wild story today. We're unpacking the tale of a tiny kingdom that literally changed the world. It's a story that perfectly bridges ancient history with our modern lives, kind of blending physical reality with a beautiful metaphorical journey. We're talking about a narrative that kicks off right in the heart of Europe, but ripples out to touch, well, the entire globe. It's all about influence, mystery, and a hidden power that has absolutely zero to do with wealth or armies. So, let's get right into it and uncover the secrets of the Compass of Compassion.
Okay, let's dive into this. The sheer geographic paradox of our setting is just mind-blowing. Hidden right inside the massive, bustling, ancient city of Rome is Vatican City. And here is the absolute craziest fact. It is the single smallest country on Earth, period. It operates totally as its own independent nation, just kind of landlocked, right there in the middle of the Italian capital. It's this tiny, distinct space, completely swallowed up by sprawling Rome. To put that into perspective for a second, its actual physical footprint, it's literally smaller than a suburban shopping mall, no joke. Yet its global reach is just staggering. We're talking millions of international visitors pouring in every single year. So how does something so physically tiny hold such enormous, undeniable influence over the globe? Well, when you walk through those ancient gates and look up at St. Peter's Basilica, it kind of clicks. Every single stone there whispers centuries of history. And those millions of people, they aren't showing up for commerce. They're arriving at those stones seeking hope, seeking peace. The ideals housed there shine infinitely brighter than the physical buildings themselves.
But what if I told you there is way more to this place than just the grand architecture and those beautiful sunlit windows? Just imagine for a moment, stepping away from all those massive crowds. Picture an old, completely forgotten underground chamber, resting quietly beneath those heavily trodden historic stones. Deep down in the cool dark, far away from the millions of tourists, a secret has been waiting. What mystery remains hidden beneath the city?
Well, our story follows a really curious traveler, an explorer who just couldn't resist the pull of the unknown. This young explorer ventures deep underground and comes up against this ancient, heavy, locked door. No obvious way in. But then, almost like it was responding to pure intent, a strange, glowing, golden key just suddenly appears in the dim light. They turn the lock, the door slowly creaks open, and boom, a brilliant, blinding light. The hidden room reveals itself, and the air is literally thick with ancient knowledge. The traveler is just standing there in awe, surrounded by glowing, floating books. Every single page in that room carries forgotten wisdom, just waiting to be understood again.
Which brings us to Section 1, the true compass, pointing toward humanity's future.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that amidst all those glowing books and floating pages, the explorer's eyes lock onto one specific, extraordinary object, the Compass of Compassion. And listen, this isn't your standard navigational tool, okay? It wasn't built to find buried gold, and it definitely didn't point toward magnetic north. Instead, this magical compass searched for kindness. It pointed directly at people's hearts. The traveler realized that this instrument actually glowed brighter with every single good deed it witnessed. If kids were helping each other out, the compass would just shine brilliantly. It was literally a gauge for human empathy.
Seeing this radiant light, the traveler just smiles, and this profound realization hits them. Real power comes from compassion. It's not about the size of your country, which, like we talked about earlier, can literally be smaller than a mall. It's not about physical wealth. It's not about military might. True world-changing influence actually comes from the profound impact of human connection and empathy. The compass proved that the absolute brightest light we can generate comes purely from how we treat one another.
But, I mean, a discovery like that isn't meant to be locked up in a vault, right? The ripple effect of this secret is just massive. On day one, the traveler takes this knowledge and heads back home to America. Within weeks, just weeks, this simple but profound lesson starts inspiring local schools, local hospitals. People start actively looking for ways to help each other out. Months later, the whole movement grows, uniting first responders, firefighters, and everyday volunteers. Neighbors are helping neighbors in totally unprecedented ways. And as the years pass, this network of kindness doesn't just stay in one neighborhood. It spreads like wildfire across entire cities. The light from that tiny underground Vatican chamber is now literally illuminating the whole country.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about today. One time nation inspired millions. What started in the smallest country on Earth sparked an absolute global movement. It shows us that connected hearts can literally light up the world. The compass proved that individual acts of empathy, when you link them all together, create this blindingly bright global network. Ultimately, it proves that the absolute smallest place can create the biggest change. You really don't need massive resources to make a difference. The macro scale of global influence is built entirely on the micro scale of individual human actions.
So we'll leave you with this final, incredibly powerful thought from the end of our story. Kindness is the greatest power on earth. It outlasts buildings, it outshines gold, and it totally transforms communities. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with the question to chew on today. If the smallest country in the world can hold the greatest power simply by inspiring connected hearts, what could your smallest act of kindness change?